Hey you guys, I haven't done a Facebook Live in a while and I thought today would be a really fun day. I'm home and just kind of playing around with a whole bunch of different ideas I have, and I know that you guys have been wanting to learn a little bit more about how to make rollerball blends and like how to exactly mix a blend in the right proportion. So I'm going to try to tackle that topic today, as well as provide a few resources for you so you guys know how to take a roller bottle and effectively put together a blend that's unique to you, but also has an opportunity to kind of explain why doTERRA maybe has even blended some of their own blends that you can use that are already pre-blended for you. So I don't consider myself an aromatherapist or an expert at this. In fact, I hope this is actually inspiring to you guys that blending oils you don't have to be an aromatherapist. You don't have to be an expert. You can rely on some simple tools and some basic guidance to get you started. Not to mention, there are some fabulous resources, so please don't let me forget to tell you guys about those resources. So the first thing I think that should be noted about using essential oils or blending essential oils, and in this specific conversation, I'm talking about blending them into a roller ball so that it can be used topically and also aromatically in the body. But when you're doing this, I love the roller balls because they're quick and easy to make. So this is actually a very simple process. People feel overwhelmed by it. But it also makes them safer and it helps extend the life of your oils. So someone might kind of freak out when they see the price of a more expensive oil like frankincense. They're like, oh my God, it's so expensive. But if they realize how you can extend the life of that frankincense to last you a really, really long time, it becomes an exceptionally great purchase because you can use frankincense in blends, and the length and the lasting effects of a roller ball go on forever. Like my roller balls last forever just because they're pre-diluted. I'm using less of the essential oil, more of a carrier oil, so they last a really long time and it extends the life of my oil. In addition, it makes it safe for topical application. So some people are sensitive to oils if they apply them directly to the skin, especially hot oils like oregano, thyme, cinnamon. They can actually kind of create a burning effect on the skin if you apply them directly. But when you dilute them in a roller ball, they can be very safe and effective for use directly on the skin. So it makes them safer, more effective. And in addition, I didn't know this, but I did learn recently that when you apply an essential oil with a carrier oil, in a sense, through the use of a roller bottle, you can actually get better effects because the carrier oil, and in this example, I'm going to use fractionated coconut oil. The carrier oil actually acts as an adhesive. So the oils actually stay on your skin for a longer period of time, meaning that more of the actual essential oil constituents actually are absorbed into the skin and pass through and carried into the bloodstream. So if you just put peppermint on your skin, for instance, it's quickly volatilized, meaning it evaporates. You can smell it. You can literally smell it, that strength of peppermint right when you put it on your skin. With a carrier oil, the carrier oil helps that peppermint stick to the skin longer, so you have better absorption into your body that way. So I love roller bottles for a variety of reasons, and that's two of them, 2 or 3 reasons that I love them. So let's talk about blending specifically. When you're considering making a roller ball, it's first important that you look at how much you want to dilute your roller bottle. So I just use a really easy and quick guide that doTERRA makes very readily available through a very quick Google search. You can just go Google Images or just regular Google dilution guide essential oils, and this graphic is going to pop up right away. So you can open this, you can save it to your computer, you can always Google it later. I actually keep one of these laminated copies in my little binder when I go teach classes because people are always interested. But this is a perfect little guide to help you get started to know exactly how many drops of oil that you might use in combination with a carrier oil. So for instance, if I'm an older adult, a full-grown adult, I can I can deal with a 10 up to a 50% dilution of essential oils to carrier oil, meaning in a 50-50 ratio, the blend, effectively in this roller bottle, 50% of it would be essential oils, 50% of it would be a carrier oil. Now, for somebody smaller than me or a child or an infant, you're going to use, as low as a 0.5% dilution ratio. And according to this guide, in a 5 ml roller bottle, less than a drop of oil in a 5 ml roller bottle, which is this size here, would be considered a 0.5% dilution, which would be safe and effective for an infant, up to a full drop. So when I was blending essential oil roller bottles for my daughter when she was first born, I was using like 1 drop of frankincense, 1 drop of lavender in a roller bottle like this and applying it to her feet when she was just born, because she's so tiny and the oils are so incredibly potent and effective that you don't need a lot. So that 1 little drop of frankincense and lavender in this roller bottle lasted her entire infancy, nothing more. So again, another great example of how you can extend the life of your oils by making roller bottles for yourself. Now, as you get more experienced, let me back up. When you first get started with roller bottle blends, I do encourage you to start on the more conservative end of blending your dilutions to make them a little bit more diluted with a carrier oil and less essential oils. And then as time goes on, you become more experienced with how essential oils work with your body. You can start to increase that percentage ratio to really meet the needs of your body. So I find that for me, I really love a 25 to 50% essential oil blend. That seems to be most effective in my body. Somebody else that I work with might, really do well with only 10% dilution. So you've got to experiment. And the nice thing about roller bottles is if you make a 10% dilution in a roller bottle and you're not finding it to be effective, no problem. Just add more essential oils to it and you can really play with the ratios, because in addition, this nice little guide tells you how many drops is equivalent to what amount of what percentage dilution that you're going for. So you can always look at how many drops you put in, add effectively that many more drops to make it a little bit more powerful. So there's a lot of opportunity to have fun with essential oil blends. I use my intuition as well as my resources to create blends that make me happy and also are effective. So another thing to know about blends, so some of you have asked about how do you know what oils to put in these roller bottles? And there are a million wonderful resources out there that give you guys recipes. You can get on Google, Pinterest, and find tons of recipes for different roller bottle blends. Now, I do encourage you to be conscious about the sources that you're using. And I also do encourage you to look at this dilution guide when you're getting ready to make your roller bottle. So you might find a blend on someone's random blog post that looks really nice. It has sandalwood and wild orange and maybe some bergamot and clary sage or something. You're like, oh my God, that would be so amazing. I'd love to make that blend. Just make sure, there's a lot of people on the internet telling us how to do X, Y, and Z. You can always cross-check the number of drops they're recommending in their recipe to this dilution guide to make sure you're making a dilution that's appropriate for you. So if you love the oils that they're using in the blend, because you're just like, yeah, that would smell really, really good, just check it against the dilution guide and just make sure that the number of drops matches the dilution that's most appropriate for you. And that will make a huge impact on your ability to really start trusting yourself in the blending process. Now, you can also Google and learn a little bit more about a concept of top, middle, and base notes when you're blending essential oils. And that is getting more into aromatherapy and looking at the different constituents that are in oils that give it a particular fragrance or scent. So some of you might be wanting to make essential oils as a perfume. You love the health benefits of essential oils, but you also love the way that essential oils smell. And essential oils smell beautiful on the skin, and they have no toxic side effects. So you're getting this really great synergy of health benefit as well as you smell really nice. And that's a wonderful way to use essential oils. I use blends and things as perfume all the time, and I love them. And I know that I'm putting something natural, plant-based on my body that's also going to support my emotions and my health, my cellular health, etc. So it's a really, really great opportunity to use the essential oils not only for health, but also just to smell pretty. So we talk about top notes, middle notes, and base notes. You could, again, quick Google search, you can find lists of essential oils that fit into those three categories. But based on my research, when you're making a blend of your own, so say you're not using a recipe and you just kind of want to experiment, do a little alchemy in your home and just try some different things out. You've got a collection of oils now and you want to start maybe making gifts for people, perfumes for yourself, whatever. It's important to start looking at the different qualities of the oils that you're using. So different essential oil aromatherapists will have different recommendations, but in a blend, so this is a 10 ml roller, you might go for about 50% of your blend in the type of oil called a base note. Let me just give you some example of a base notes. These are usually heavy oils and their fragrances are really evident, but they slowly evolve in a blend and they slow down the evaporation of other oils. So good examples of these oils are cedarwood, frankincense. I've got a list in front of me here. I don't have these memorized. Cedarwood, frankincense, clove, cinnamon, and you can already feel the quality if you think about those smells. Rose is considered a base note. They're usually more intense. They're more hearty, more heady. They have a relaxing, soothing effect on the body. Patchouli is also a base note. Jasmine is a base note. Oh, I love jasmine. Vetiver, I'm going to be using that in my blend today. So vetiver is a great base note. And lang lang is actually a base note, which we'll talk about. Some of those really overpowering scents you might use in lower percentages just because of their strength. But on average, doing about 50% of your blend, starting with a base note, is a good place to start. And then we move to middle notes, and middle notes are a little bit lighter than the base notes, and they should constitute about 30 to 40% of the essential oils in your blend. Some examples of middle notes are black pepper, cardamom, chamomile, cypress, geranium is considered a middle note. Juniper, lavender I'm going to use in my blend today, melissa, marjoram, any of the pine oils, so Siberian fir, Douglas fir, rosemary, spikenard, yarrow palm, those would all be considered middle notes, okay? And they're going to be about 30 to 40% of your blend. So again, this is if you want to do a little alchemy in your, wherever you are, you're going to put about 30 to 40% of the essential oils from the middle notes. And then the top notes are going to be lighter oils. So let's get my list of top notes out. These are they evaporate really quickly and also have a lot of antiviral properties. They're usually light, fresh, uplifting in nature, and are not the most expensive. So the base notes tend to be our more expensive oils, and then the lighter oils that go on the top tend to be more affordable, and they could take up anywhere between 15 to 25% of your blend. So if you had 20 drops in your roller bottle of essential oil, you would probably do between 2 and 5 drops of the top note. And top notes include oils like bergamot, clary sage, lemon, lime, grapefruit, peppermint is a top note, spearmint's a top note, tangerine, melaleuca is kind of a top to middle note, thyme, again, a top to middle note, but you can incorporate and find these lists online and print them out and keep them close to you, but they would constitute about 15 to 25% of your oil blend. Again, if you're not following a recipe, you didn't find something lovely online, you just want to emulate, you can look at these different properties of these different oils and put a blend together, which I'm actually going to do with you today. I want to make a sleep blend because I have been noticing that essential oils really, really support my sleep, and I've had a ton of monkey mind. I don't know about you guys, but there is a lot of change happening in my life right now. And when I go down to fall asleep, I find that my brain is just like racked. It's just like insane. Like I have these lists that just start like piling up, and I know that I need support calming down and relaxing in order to stop that monkey mind from interfering with me falling asleep. Lavender tends to be magical for that. And lately I've just been putting like a drop, just straight up drop of lavender, okay, like on behind my ears, and I've been rubbing it in my scalp before I fall asleep. And it really does help support me getting into that nice deep rest. but I wanna make a blend that I can put next to my bed that I can roll on that has a little bit more in it. So I'm gonna use, I looked at my lists and I'm gonna use a base note. I'm gonna use vetiver as my base note. I'm gonna put about 50% of the essential oil blend as vetiver. My middle note is gonna be my lovely lavender. And then my top note is gonna be bergamot. And so I just love bergamot. It's one of my favorite oils. I always say it's one of my favorite oils. I love all essential oils, but I've been drawn to bergamot. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of bergamot to lighten up the blend, just to make it, kind of more well-rounded in terms of its effect on the body and just to the sense of smell that I have. So let's do that together. So I like a 50% ratio because I know my body can handle that. And according to my dilution guide, I can use it's gonna be probably, I'm gonna go, so my bottle, I'm gonna visualize this, but it's gonna be about a 1-to-1 drops of essential oil to carrier oil. So I am going to find my vetiver. So I got my vetiver here. I'm gonna fill about 25% of my bottle with vetiver, and then I'm gonna fill the remaining 25%, which will get me to 50% of the bottle, with my lavender and my bergamot. More lavender to bergamot. So does that make sense? So 50% vetiver. I'm guessing it's gonna be about, a 10% ratio would be about 30 drops total. So I'm guessing I'm probably gonna use maybe up to 40 drops of vetiver. Let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna start dropping this in here, and you can see that vetiver is a really heavy oil. It follows those properties of base notes, meaning it's really viscous, it's heavy. It's not as expensive as oils like frankincense, but it has this amazing, relaxing, restorative property. It's actually a grass oil. So it comes from the grasses in Haiti, is where doTERRA sources their, through co-impact sourcing, I might add, sources their vetiver oil. And it is just such a beautiful oil. So I'm just checking in here. I can see through this blue glass that there's still room. I can keep going. I'm just gonna go a little faster here since we're just chatting as I go. Not really counting drops. So again, you don't have to be perfect. You can eyeball some of this stuff, at least I do. And I'm really not worried. Nothing's gonna explode or blow up on you, I promise. So again, I'm just going for it, and I'm almost at 25%. So I'm gonna add a little bit more vetiver, and then I'm probably gonna have to order more vetiver because I'm gonna use up the last little bit I have in this bottle. For those of you who know vetiver, it's very viscous, and to pour it like this to get the drops to come out, it's laborious. That's why I purchased a little dropper top, which you can get on Amazon, you can get on Aroma Tools. It makes this process easier. So I have about 25% of this bottle is filled with vetiver. So the remaining 25%, I'm gonna fill with lavender and bergamot. Now, my middle notes are gonna take up between 30 to 40%, and then my top notes about 25%. Since this is gonna be a relaxing blend, I'm gonna go heavier on the lavender and lighter on the bergamot, okay? So I'm gonna start with 30 drops and see where that gets me on the level here. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I think that's actually perfect. And then I'm gonna use about 15 drops of bergamot, so half the amount, which will get me about close to that 15 to 25%. Notice these are really fast oils. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I am right at 50% dilution. I don't know if you guys can see my roller bottle, but it looks pretty close to me. This is 50% dilution. It would be much less if I were a beginner and unsure about how my body responded to essential oils. But now I have my fractionated coconut oil. I keep it in a glass jar and with a couple eyedroppers in there just for easy, quick roller bottle making purposes. I make roller bottles all the time. I make them as gifts. I give them to my friends who just had babies. I mean, you name it, I make a roller ball I use them as thank you gifts. So if somebody did something really nice for me, I send them a roller bottle because I just feel like this is such a nice gift to give somebody. So there it is. So I got it all in there. And now I have my little top, so my roller ball top. I'm gonna pop that on there. It's not gonna pop down all the way. There's our special tools you can use. I do have one in my office. that you can use to pop on the top, but I want to discourage people from slamming their hand down on the roller bottle because it can actually break the roller ball. I actually also would recommend getting stainless steel roller bottle tops. They tend to roll more smoothly, but this is the one I had in my drawer, the one I pulled out for today's Facebook Live, so I'm just gonna roll with it. You can also use your cap. So this is a really nice, easy way to not break your roller bottle ball, is to have the top on as much as you can do with your hand, and then use your cap to push down the rest of the way. And you literally just push down and spin the cap back on. And then what happens effectively is it gets it nice and sealed. So you guys can see there's a nice good seal around there. I can then just allow my blend to, just a little side to side to get my oils to blend with the Carrier fractionated coconut oil that's in there, and I am good to go. That was super easy. I can roll it on. Let's see how it smells. Ooh, I like that. That's really nice. So I can use this now. I'm gonna put this on my bedside table, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it on the back of my neck. Probably shouldn't do this now, I'm gonna get too relaxed. On my heart space, I can put a little bit in my hands, give myself a scalp massage, put some on my big toe. That's the reflex point for the brain. Anywhere that kind of my intuition and my guidance takes me, I'll just apply that oil, maybe just smell it right out of the roller. But this blend will probably over the next 24 to 48 hours might shift and change a little bit in terms of the way it smells. So don't be surprised if you make a rollerball blend and then over the next day or two, the blend actually shifts and changes a little bit in terms of how it feels. That's not uncommon because the chemical constituents are, there's chemistry happening in that little roller bottle and they can change. So just know that if it does change smell, there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, some people like to wait at least 30 minutes before using their roller because it really shows more of the quality of what the blend will smell like down the road. So this is an easy sleep blend. I have some stickers. I can, stick on the oils that I put in there, make a little thing that says sleepy time roller. I can get creative with the naming if I like, but I'm gonna keep this in my bedside table and I'm gonna use this at night to help control that little monkey mind I got going on. So really easy. Again, I used a base note for about 50% of the blend, a middle note, and then a top note to help just bring balance into the roller ball. So if you're an alchemist, a DIY person, somebody who wants to have some fun with your oils, this is a great way to do it. You don't have to keep all the rollers for yourself. Give them out as gifts. Use them as thank you gifts, whatever, you can get really creative. So yeah, I think there's a comment. Wendy said, that's what I do to put the rollers on. Oh, okay. I don't know what that comment is referring to, but that's okay, Wendy. Thanks for, thanks for the comment. If you guys have any questions, please pop them in. I can actually see any questions come in. So if you guys are watching this live and you wanted to ask me something, please feel free to pop questions in. I will also be posting this recording. So if you are popping in later and want to, go back and watch the Facebook Live, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll make that available. So other resources that I really love when people are just getting started with oils are honestly the basics that I encourage people to look into when they get started anyway, just to learn about the health benefits of oils. And that's including the Modern Essentials book. So if you don't have this book already, 1000% recommend getting this book. It is a beginner and a advanced or moderate use essential oil users handbook for just about everything. You can look up oils by ailment, find the best oils for sleep. So I might recommend going in here and saying, okay, we're talking about sleep today. Look at the oils that are good for sleep and then compare them to the top, middle, and base notes from your little Google search. And then you can create your own blend based on the oils that are shown to support sleep. Use your blends, your top, middle, base notes to create a blend that's well balanced for the aroma, and you're on your way to becoming your own essential oil blender. Really, really quick, really, really easy. I also really love the blends from this book. This is a book by Desiree Magandog. She's a licensed acupuncturist and she is amazing when it comes to putting blends together for essential oils. She also uses doTERRA. You can find her if you Google her, but this book I love. It has a whole bunch of blends for emotional well-being, and the blends have anywhere between 4 and like, I don't know, this blend in particular has 9. Some blends have up to 12 different oils in them. So this is definitely for somebody who has a pretty diverse oil collection. She uses oils that are more obscure, things like cassia, spearmint, lang lang, things that you might not get in your home essentials kit. So if you want to add to your collection, I mean, these blends are literally, they're life-changing. I love these. I keep them in my purse. I've made a few of them to keep in my purse. I often give them as gifts. But what Denise is nice about this book is the blending and the counting of the drops is all done for you. You simply have to follow the recipe. So there's a recipe for a rollerball blend called Warm Embrace, and she gives you some information. It says this best blend when you need a big warm hug, okay? Who doesn't need that? And it tells you exactly how many drops of what oil to use and what size rollerball to use it in. So she usually uses a 5 ml roller, but you could always double the recipe and put it in a bigger roller bottle if you wanted to. But I love this if you want some more advanced blends, but you're not really sure how to put more than 3 or 4 oils together in your own blend. Having a resource like the I Am Fabulous book by Desiree is a fantastic purchase. It was a good investment. I don't believe you can get this on Amazon. I think you actually have to get it off of Aroma Tools or Oil Life. You could go to Amazon, or I'm sorry, you could go to Google and just type in I Am Fabulous, and I'm sure you can find different ways to purchase this book, but it is a really good one, and I love it for somebody who wants to do some more advanced blending but is unsure how to use those oils to do that. Now, if you do happen to have a blender and you make a blend and there's no way of fixing it, so say you put 4 or 5 oils together and it's like, oh shoot, this smells terrible. Keep in mind that you could always use those oils to make cleaning products. So a lot of our essential oils have antibacterial, antimicrobial properties. So say you make a blend and you just put a whole bunch of randomness in it and you're like, this doesn't work. You can actually take that blend and pour it into like a cleaning product, like you can make your own cleaning product with some water. I know there's fractionated coconut oil in there, so I'm trying to think of what you could use it for. Well, here, I have another tip. Before you add the fractionated coconut oil, okay? So before you add the fractionated coconut oil, mix up the oil a little bit and smell it to make sure it's a blend that you want to dilute down. If it's not and you want to dispose of it, you can use the oils in that blender, I would call it, to make a cleaner by adding like 10 or 15 drops of that blend into some water with a little vinegar. You can make a easy counter spray, so you can use those oils. You don't have to throw them away. Please don't throw away your essential oils if you don't have to. And it would be a great way to ensure that. And Linda asked, Linda, the blend I just made for sleep was vetiver, lavender, and bergamot. And then she asked also, can you post her name? Yeah, I will totally post the book so you guys can see the name again. I'll hold it up again, Linda, for you. It's called I Am Fabulous by Desiree Magandog. Again, these are just really beautiful blends, a good investment. I think the book is close to $20, $17.95 is what my copy says. But I would say it was one of the better investments in essential oil books that I have. That and my Modern Essentials book. And the Modern Essentials book also has sections in here about blending and about making essential oil roller balls and things like that will really help support you on your journey. Are there any other questions? Those are really good questions from Linda. Some comments. Does anyone on here listening, do you guys make your own rollerball blends? Do you follow your inner alchemist and go for it? Megan has a great comment. She says, and she does a lot of her own blending. Another way is to add a smaller amount of drops in the same ratio and make sure you like it. Oh, that's a great idea. And I did forget to mention something else I'd learned, but she's saying instead of, trying to make the 50% blend right away, consider the oils you're wanting to use. So in this case, I have lavender, bergamot, and vetiver, okay? You can actually not even use any oil. You can literally open your bottles and just smell them, together and see if there's synergy there for you. So you don't even have to drop them in, but Megan's suggesting, and I think it's an amazing suggestion, is to take your roller bottle, put fewer drops. So maybe you just put 1 drop of each or a couple drops of vetiver and 1 drop of the others, and then just smell to see if it's a good synergy blend for you. And then Kaisu, oh, she has a great comment too. Thank you, Kaisu. She says she uses the not so good blends to massage onto her feet where the smell doesn't bother her. But you know it has that effect on your body. I love that idea, Kaisu. That is a really good one. So if you don't love the blend, so say I hated what I just created, I could just use this on my feet because I know that the vetiver and the lavender especially are good for that monkey mind restlessness. So I could put them on my feet. I wouldn't have to smell them, but the chemical properties of the oils would still be entering my body and creating that positive effect. I love that idea, Kaisu. Thank you. And then Linda says she's done a lot of oil blends for allergies, leg cramps, and itching. That's awesome. Linda, can you share any recipes that have been effective for you for allergies? I just had a customer reach out to me and she really wanted some support with some allergies she was having. She was actually getting hives. So if anybody has any ideas for oils for hives, I immediately go to the blend of lemon, lavender, and peppermint because those are in synergy kind of have an antihistamine type of effect to them. But if you guys have any other great blend ideas, On Guard is another one that's good for allergies. But if you have any other ideas, please let me know. Oh, thank you, Linda. So Linda brings up another resource I forgot to tell you about. And that resource is droply.com, DROPII.com. And that resource is fantastic for finding rollerball recipes. There are so many good recipes in there and they're vetted by people who have tried them. So the app is really, really cool because you can put in, like say you're looking for oil blends for allergies, okay? You can put allergies into the search bar. A whole bunch of different recipes will come in and there'll also be like comments like, oh my God, this blend worked really well for me. So you can see like what people use the blend for. Then you can compare the drops that they recommend on the blend in the app and to your dilution guide and make a dilution ratio that's going to be best for you. I would also tell you that Droply is free to anybody who's on my doTERRA wellness team. So if you are interested in getting that app on your phone, which I highly recommend, but you don't have an access code because it does cost, I think don't quote me on this, but it's like $5 a month or something. If you need a mentor code, please send me a private message. If you're on my essential oils team, doesn't mean I had to enroll you. A friend of mine could have enrolled you, whatever. But if you're a doTERRA member on my team, you get that app for free. You just have to tell me so I can send you the special code to get access. But that is another fabulous, wonderful resource that I wanted to talk about. And Linda, you helped me. Okay, Linda says it's $8.99. So if you wanted to purchase it outright, go for it. It's totally worth it. But I just want you to know it's also free if you're on my team. So that's another really great idea. I'm starting to get towards the end of the Facebook Live. I'm so excited that so many of you have been popping in, asking questions, providing comments. It's awesome. If you missed the first part of my talk today, I shared some information about diluting oils, how to know safe dilution ratios for you and your family. I also talked about what top, middle, and base notes are and how you can use those chemical properties of your essential oils to create blends in your own unique way. So as many oil recipes are out there, it makes it really easy and convenient to make recipes. But if you want to practice your inner alchemist and try to make some blends of your own, you can use the resources found on the internet to discover what your top notes are, what your middle notes are, and your base notes so that you can start to have fun with your oils and create some blends that are unique to you. So everybody goes after this a little differently. Now, of course, if you're like, I don't want to make blends. I don't want to do this on my own. I don't care. I just want someone else to do it for me. You're in luck because doTERRA actually has some fabulous blends already created for your benefit. On Guard, Breathe, Balance, Peace, Cheer, Console, Motivate, all of those, Forgive. passion. There are a million blends that doTERRA has available that are actually already pre-diluted for you too. You can get them in rollerball form, so you don't have to make your own. So if you really are like, this is cool, but I'd rather just have it done for me, keep in mind doTERRA has blends for all different emotions. They have blends for health. So the On Guard blend is immune support blend. We have a respiratory blend, which is our breathe blend, that are already, like, the scientists in the laboratory already put the blends together. So you could dilute them if you buy them, you know, in their full strength, or you can buy them pre-diluted, already ready to go in the roller bottle if you're totally lazy. And there's nothing wrong with lazy. Lazy is actually time efficiency for a lot of people. So if you're a busy mom, or you're someone like me who's trying to juggle a million things, sometimes just having a blend already pre-diluted in the roller bottle, labeled, ready to go is the best. I keep, like, for instance, I keep Forgive in my purse. I love Forgive. It has a lot of pine, a lot of earthy groundingness to it. So I'll use Forgive because it's pre-blended. It smells amazing. There's actually research on it that it helps reduce stress and anxiety. So I use that just on the go, and I buy it right from the company. Inner Alchemist. Oh, you like the Inner Alchemist comment. That's awesome. I love to do both. So I have some DIY blends that I love, that I've made myself. Obviously, you just saw me make one with vetiver, lavender, and bergamot. I use books, and I just have fun with it. And then I buy the blends from doTERRA, because who needs to save a little bit of time? I do. So I just buy a lot of my blends directly from the company too, which is great. So there you go, you guys. I hope that this Facebook Live was helpful. I would love to do more of these Facebook Lives in the future. So if there are things that you want to learn about in regards to essential oils and health and wellness, please let me know. I just quit my job at the hospital. My last day is on Friday, and it is so expansive to feel like I have all of this freedom to be more available to share the love of my oils, the love of nutrition and health and wellness with everybody who's interested in that. And it feels so good. So I'm excited to share more with you. So please be in touch. Let me know what you guys want to learn about. And I'd love to do more Facebook Lives and more online events that will really speak to the things that are important to you. Okay, I think that's it. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Yeah, I think that's all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.